Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Steve. This is the Fandom Show. We're here with another pop culture roundup. We're going to cover a few different topics in this video, and then I have a funny personal story to share at the end, which is actually related to one of the topics in the video. I do also want to say that I'm going to be talking about sexual assault in this video, which might seem absolutely wild for this channel, but I promise you there's a rationale behind it. It's not going to be anything graphic or extreme or anything like that, but just so anybody who's watching is aware that is going to be coming up in just a little bit here. So let's go ahead and jump in. First thing I wanted to talk about is The Pit. For years and years now, there have been procedural medical dramas on TV, and a lot of them have picked up significant fan followings all the way back to like ER and Chicago Hope back in the 90s. Well, one of the stars, and of course Grey's Anatomy from the mid-2000s on to now, and there's been any number of other shows that have, put different spins on the formula, like House did a while back, and I can go on with that for a long time. I'm not going to do that. But the show that came out recently called The Pit, this is on Max, and it actually stars Noah Wyle, who famously played Dr. Carter in ER. And essentially the way it works is, it's a 15-episode season, the one that's out now, and each episode represents 1 hour of an entire shift of a group of doctors working in the ER. And it's just a really well done show. It's picked up rave reviews, and it's actually developed, even though it's a brand new show, it's actually developed a very robust fan base that are very passionate about the program. Season 2, of course, not out till next year, but it's a really good show, so I don't mind waiting. If you haven't watched this yet, and you like those medical shows, go ahead and watch. Now, it's on Max, streaming series, so, there's some graphic stuff. They don't shy back on the language, but it's a really well done show. Netflix also introduced a medical show recently called The Pulse. It's more Grey's Anatomy style, or it's more about like drawing personal relationships between the doctors. The Pit actually does a really good job of getting the medical stuff right. There have been numerous people who work in healthcare that have commented on how accurate the show is, how much they appreciate that. So, if you're a fan of medical dramas, please check The Pit out. It is fantastic. Noah Wyle deserves a friggin' Emmy for that show because he did a really good job. A couple of movie trailers to talk about. Predator Badlands. Yes, there's another Predator movie coming. I thought this series had died of sequelitis, and I didn't make up that term. That's just a term for franchises that get overburdened by sequels. Apparently, I was wrong, because the last movie in the series was pretty good, and I did check out the trailer for Predator Badlands, and I thought, this is actually not looking too bad. We're quite far removed from the original Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. That movie's almost 40 years old now. Yes, we're all getting up there, folks. But the trailer for the new movie did look good. I'm probably not going to see this one in the theaters, but I will check it out when it comes to streaming. We also got a full trailer for the new Fantastic Four movie starring Pedro Pascal. I really like where they're going with this. I like the whole 60s aesthetic. I like who they've chosen for the villains. I think this is going to be a really fun movie, and probably the best Fantastic Four movie ever put to film, which I know isn't saying much, because the ones we have gotten haven't been great, but I really think they've got it right this time, and I'm very excited for this one. Speaking of Pedro Pascal, we very recently got a couple of promo shots from the set of The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is the Dave Filoni Star Wars movie that we're expected next year. He was wearing, Pedro Pascal was a new kind of all-black Mandalorian suit. It looked really cool, so I'm very excited for this movie. Still a ways off yet, but I believe good things are coming. Last of Us Part 2, speaking of Pedro Pascal, is airing now. I think only the first 2 episodes are out, but they have been really good. I mentioned this before on this channel. If you haven't played the video game, don't worry about it. You'll miss out on nuances and references and Easter eggs and things in the show, but it's still perfectly entertaining. I didn't play the video game before I watched the show. I had kind of a basic understanding of what the game was and who the main characters were, but I didn't know all the specifics. I've enjoyed the heck out of it. So it's just good TV. If you like zombie stuff, you're probably going to like The Last of Us. Okay, so here's the part where we get into the sexual assault thing. So Star Wars Andor Season 2 just dropped. The first 3 episodes came out a couple of days ago. They're really well done. I really adore this series. I think it is some of the best Star Wars that Disney has ever put out. But in the 3rd episode, there is a scene where, and spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the show, I'm about to spoil it. So, in the 3rd episode, there is a scene where an Imperial officer is confronting a female who's associated with Cassian, one of the rebels, and he basically implies that she has two choices. Number one, she can go to jail and possibly be killed by the Empire, or number two, she can sleep with him and he'll let her go. Well, she decides not really to go for any of that, and he basically tries to force himself on her. I'm not going to give you the whole thing, but anyway, in the episode, they use the word rape. Character says he tried to rape me, and it's just very, very intense. Some of the darkest Star Wars stuff that has ever been put to film. And it's been incredibly polarizing among the fan base. Personally, I mean, it is very jarring because Star Wars is typically more to the family-friendly side of things, although not always. If you recall, even going back to, like, Revenge of the Sith, which was 20 years ago this year, there was some dark stuff there with Anakin killing the kids and other stuff that was going on. So it's not like Star Wars hasn't done dark before, but, doing a sexual assault angle is definitely fresh ground for the series, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the fan base who probably have a bit of an issue. Like, it's a very sensitive subject. I get it. Now, in the context of the show Andor, the idea is we're basically looking at how the rebellion came into formation and in the build-up towards the strike against the Death Star in the first Star Wars movie. But we're also seeing the side of, the Empire, this terrible authoritarian regime that is ruling the galaxy. And unfortunately, there's a lot of real-life analogs to the Empire and those, like the Nazis and what have you back then. And, a lot of those regimes, among other things, used sexual assault as a way to kind of gain power. So what Andor is doing is not without historical precedent, and I think in line with what they're trying to present, it makes sense. It's not easy to watch, but it does make sense. I'll be curious to see how dark are they going to take it for the rest of the series. Like, how is this going to go? I don't know, but we will find out, and I hope the next episodes are going to be really, really good. I know some people that got an advance look at the entire series said that it was absolutely excellent, so fingers crossed that the rest of Andor is as entertaining as the first 3 episodes have been. A couple of personal stories now. I mentioned this first story on this channel before. When I was about 10 years old, I had just seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, in the theater, and I was so psyched. And that weekend, my parents and I went to Sears, and I knew that they had made a Super Shredder toy, because the Super Shredder character was my absolute favorite character in the movie. I just thought he was so cool looking and just absolutely awesome. I wanted to get the Super Shredder toy. My mind was made up. I was going to walk into that Sears and get the Super Shredder toy. So I went into the Sears. I ran up to the toy section. It wasn't there. Sold out. And I threw an absolute crying fit tantrum. My parents can't tell you this story. I was absolutely wrecked. They tried to buy me a Splinter toy to play Cammy. And don't get me wrong, I took the Splinter toy. But what I really, really wanted was Super Shredder. Well, I did myself a favor this past week, and I corrected it wrong. 33 years on, whatever. There he is. There's the Super Shredder. He's finally in my collection. This is what I wanted at Sears all those years ago, and he's finally in my hands today. So I say to 10-year-old me, you're welcome. I finally got you what you wanted. Alright, and my last thing, it's timely, but it's also kind of random. So last night, Switch 2 pre-orders opened in North America, and my Switch has been on the blink for a little while. I mean, I've had it for like 6 years, so it's time to upgrade. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pre-order a Switch 2, we'll see how this goes. So they went live at 11 p.m. Central Time, midnight Eastern, and I'm on there, I'm trying to get it. It's a complete mess. I'm trying Walmart, I'm trying Best Buy, I'm trying Amazon, I'm trying Target. I cannot get through anywhere. I'm getting website errors. I'm getting all this stuff. 20-25 minutes passes, I got nothing. So I'm thinking I might have to do it old school, like show Walmart at like 6 in the morning on launch day, try to be first in line for one of these things. Well, I've been put in a virtual queue in Walmart, and I've been stuck in there for like 40 minutes. So I thought, well, I'll leave this, but there's no way that I'm going to get it. Well, surprise! I got it. I got myself a Switch 2 pre-order, the Mario Kart bundle. By the way, I'm hoping it'll be here at launch. We will see. But I haven't got the dreaded order cancellation email, so I think I'm good. I know sometimes with these online retailers, they'll oversell, and you'll get an email after the fact saying, hey, we had to cancel your order because the stock wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. Haven't gotten that, and I'm about 24 hours out, so I think I'm good, fingers crossed. Here's the funny part of the story. I'm now the proud owner of some prenatal vitamins. Now, you might be asking, what the heck does that have to do with the Switch 2? Well, somehow, when I did the order on Walmart for the Switch 2, it was an online order, of course, these prenatal vitamins got attached to the order, and I didn't notice it, so when I completed the order, this process, and they arrived at my door today. My wife can't have kids. Obviously, I can't. There's nobody in my life that I could think would want these. I have no clue. Like, these weren't in my cart or anything. I haven't searched for any prenatal vitamins. I haven't a clue how these ended up in my Walmart order. The only thing I think is maybe I tapped the button on some random deal or promo they had on them or something, and it added it without me knowing. But in any event, I got my Switch 2 pre-order, so I'm happy. And I also got some random prenatal vitamins. But hey, I guess fun story, right? But those were only $10, so not a huge issue either way. Just one of those crazy things that happens. I was happy. I got Switch 2. We're good. Just little thing there. If it had been a more expensive item that I'd accidentally ordered, I might be a little more cheesed off right now. But I mean, just the same, it's Walmart. I could have returned it. So anyhow, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed our pop culture roundup. I am hoping to get more regular with these videos. I've had a lot going on lately. The good news is that a lot of that started to smooth out. So I'm hoping that going into the summer, I'll be with you guys a lot more. As always, I do thank you for watching, and keep it right here because I have lots of cool stuff in the pipeline. Thanks so much.